how do you get yours?
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low.
Welcome, Your Royal Highness, I'm Dan and thank you so much for joining me here on our channel, Jet and Genie. Yes, this is the first time I've actually said that in an intro. So we have a little so we have had a little rebrand, as you can tell. It was for two main reasons, because David is a huge part of the channel, to include David, so it's not just about me, and to encompass our wider travels other than Walt Disney World. So we're Jet and Genie. Neither of us is Jet and neither of us is Genie. It's just to represent travel and Disney. So that's our new channel. Anyway, how are you? Welcome. If you're a new viewer, please don't be put off by my intro. This video will be quite informative, hopefully to help you with your Walt Disney World trip planning. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back and joining me today as we're going to talk about park tickets for a Walt Disney World trip. As you may know by now, we are in the process of planning our Walt Disney trip for later this year in November and December, and I'm kind of doing a little mini series, a little planning series through the year to show you all the different things that we do to plan for our trip. So I think this is the third episode in this series. The first episode was when to go, the second one was about flights. Today we're going to talk about park tickets, and then in the next one we're going to talk about where to stay and kind of how to maybe save some money on your trip, looking at hotels and different options and stuff. So little series. I'm going to take you through all the different stages of planning all the way through until we go, and then of course we're going to vlog while we're there as well. So hopefully it'll be a kind of a little bit of a build up. What I will just say is that I am talking very much from a UK perspective today, so these deals and offers and tickets may not be available in your country if you're not in the UK or in Ireland. However, if you use a VPN, you might still be able to snag a really good deal. So think about VPNs when you're looking at your tickets if you're not here in the UK. We have got our tickets booked for our trip this year now. We've got our Walt Disney World park tickets. We have Epic Universe ticket with Express Pass. We've got Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, I struggle with that one, and Jollywood Nights. And I actually booked the Walt Disney World tickets last November, almost a year before the trip, because there was a really good Black Friday deal on. So if you are going to Disney, Black Friday is a really good time to look at deals for park tickets. First tip there. Now, this is the first time I've had to buy Disney park tickets in quite a few years, because we have been annual pass holders. So we're DVC, Disney Vacation Club members, and we get the option to buy the Disney Sorcerer annual pass, which is the same as what Florida residents get. It's quite a good price, and if you're doing more than one trip in a 12-month period, it will work out cheaper to have an annual pass. That said, the UK Magic ticket is amazing and it's really hard to beat. Now, historically, before we were DVC members, I always used to buy my park ticket as part of a package with the hotel at Disney through the Walt Disney World Travel Company, and so it kind of all came in. And that is a good thing to do, which I'll talk to you about shortly as one of the options. However, now we're DVC members, we're not booking a hotel, we're just using our DVC points for the accommodation, which means there's no package to be had. So we would just buy a park ticket, and for that reason I have explored a few different options, which I'm going to share with you today. And of course, if you're staying off-site, then you will have these same options as well, because you won't be booking a hotel package, you're going to be booking just a park ticket. So if you're going to be off site, this video is also very relevant to you. So if you're staying on site and you're booking your hotel and your park tickets together, or if you're going to be booking a package, which is a flight, a hotel and a park ticket all in one, this is probably going to be the best deal for you. But do compare the prices, because actually you could save yourself some money. What I will say though is, if you're going to kind of be doing equal Disney Universal or equal Disney and other parks, then it might be worth pricing up a combo ticket and price up your hotel separately to see if there's a saving to be had. So for us, this is the first time in a very long time that we've needed to buy park tickets. So let's talk about our Walt Disney World tickets first. In the UK, we get something called a Disney Magic Ticket, which is fantastic. Now, there are two. The first one is a 7-day Disney Magic Ticket, which can be used over 7 days. The second one is a 14-day ticket, which can be used over 18 days. So it means that you haven't got to use it in consecutive days. You can kind of have a day off and go somewhere else, and it won't be part of your 14 days. You get 14 days, or 7 if you buy the other one, to actually enter the park during that period. These tickets are date based, and the price varies ever so slightly dependent upon the time of year that you're visiting, and of course in the busier seasons the ticket price is a little bit higher. The Magic Ticket includes Memory Maker, which of course is something you pay to add on, which I think is over $100 now if you buy it as a kind of add-on. It includes mini golf, it includes water parks, and most importantly it includes park hopping for the whole period of a ticket. Now, park hopper is quite an expensive add-on if you're in America. This ticket gives you park hopper for every day included in the price. So our Disney tickets are booked £543.48 each for 14 days. And as I said, that includes the hopper, the Memory Maker, all included. That's just £38.82 a day, which is around $52 at the current exchange rate. That's not bad, is it? £38.48 a day. Now, there are a few different places to purchase your tickets from. I am not affiliated to any of these. I'm not recommending any of them. I'm just giving you some information about what they offer. Now, if you Google, you will find lots and lots of companies offering park tickets. My advice to you is to check Trustpilot to get reviews and recommendations from people that have used the company. But for the purpose of today's video, I'm going to look at the Walt Disney World Travel Company alongside attractiontickets.com and floridatickets.com. So they're the three I'm going to look at in terms of giving you some ideas of prices and discounts to be had. I will start by telling you that we bought our tickets from floridatickets.com, and that was because they were the cheapest, as you'll see very, very shortly. The third-party companies often have deals and discounts on. Some of these are really great, and particularly around Black Friday is a really good time to buy your park tickets. I think I said that to you earlier on. And a lot of these third-party companies don't require the whole amount in one go. You pay a very small deposit for your tickets, and then you pay the balance I think about 6 weeks before you actually go. Florida Ticks, like other companies, offer combo tickets. Now, if you are not just doing Disney, and we typically do just do Disney, we're not really Universal people, so we are mainly Disney people, but you may not be. You might want to go and do Universal, Islands of Adventure, Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, Volcano Bay, Epic Universe, so you kind of need to do you. And if you are doing multiple different parks that are owned by Disney, Universal and SeaWorld, the combo ticket is probably going to be the best price ticket for you, because you kind of get a ticket for the period of your trip that allows you to go into all the parks despite being owned by different companies. As I said, we aren't doing this, so this wasn't an option for us. It's not something I looked into, it's not something I priced up, but generally speaking, this is going to get you the best price if you're doing multiple parks. But let's just have a quick look at the Ultimate Florida Combo. So we've got an offer here, Ultimate Florida Combo plus 1 day at Epic Universe 2025 offer. This would give you 1 day at Epic Universe, unlimited visits for 14 days. This would give you Walt Disney World 14-day Magic Ticket, Universal Orlando Free Park Explorer plus 1 day at Universal, and also a SeaWorld Orlando Free Park ticket. So that would mean that you can go to Aquatica, SeaWorld and Busch Gardens. So this is a great ticket because it gives you 14 days of going everywhere. It does include the Memory Maker, it does include the Park Hopper, it also includes the Park to Park as well, so you can use the Hogwarts Express train, and it starts from £921 per person, which is a very good price. If you was to buy this separately, it would cost you a lot more. As I said to you, there are so many different combos. They do include different parks with different numbers of days. So you really need to know what you're looking for and then compare the prices on lots of different sites. But that's just an example for you. That is quite a good price to be able to get 14 days in pretty much every park that's available, so that included everything. So we don't need a combo ticket, we want the 14-day magic ticket for Disney. Our trip is actually 17 nights, 18 days. We will have some days where we don't go to the park, so we don't need a ticket for kind of all 18 days. We won't go there on the day we arrive. We won't go on the day after we arrive. We won't go the day we're doing Jollywood nights. We won't go on the day we're going to Epic Universe. So actually 14 days is all we need. And I'm just going to quickly show you the difference in prices, because the Walt Disney World Travel Company do also offer some discounts as well. This is the official Walt Disney World website. As you can see, they've got some good discounts there on park tickets, 20%, 15% and 10% off for different days. And here is the best value ticket, the 14-day magic ticket. Here we have the calendar. This shows you if it's value season, regular season or peak season, and of course the tickets are priced accordingly to kind of the season and the demand. And as an example, if I was to click the 1st of December, it will show you that I can use that 14-day ticket between the 1st of December and the 18th of December. Disney are doing a ticket deal at the moment, where on the dates that we have selected there, you would get 10% off of the price, which is quite a good discount, 10% off of the park ticket. So that would make our tickets for the two of us £1,132.20. So that would be £566.10 each for us to book the tickets with Disney. Now let's have a quick look at Florida Tix to see if that would be a bit cheaper. So this is the FloridaTix.com website again. If you go to Disney World tickets and select the 14-day magic ticket, it brings it up for you on the screen. So if we select book on there, it's going to ask us for the date we want the ticket to start from. Again, to make sure it's comparable, we'll do the 1st of December. Oh, November, 1st of December. And we'll put in for 2 adults and we'll add to the basket. Initially you can see that the price is actually a little bit more than Disney was. And then we're going to put in the Black Friday discount code. And that takes £207.04 off of the price. The price of the tickets with Florida Tix is £1,086.96. As you can see, you only have to pay a £40 deposit at this stage, with the rest paid 5 weeks before you go. So here, the price of the same tickets is £1,086.96, or £543.48 each. Not vastly different, but why would you pay more unless you have to? It's just over £45 in savings, about $60 odd. But that money you can use to buy yourself some lightning lanes when you're there. So let's save that money and have some lightning lanes, no? I also priced it up on attractiontickets.com. This is another site I wanted to just get a price on. So let's have a quick look at that before we move on. So at attractiontickets.com, the same tickets on the same dates with the Black Friday discount came out to £1,120.30. So slightly less than Disney, but slightly more than attractiontickets.com. So anyway, we went with FloridaTix.com. We paid the £40 deposit, and our tickets were booked, which is great. Any questions about Disney park tickets, fire them down into the comments for me. I will answer them for you. As I said at the start of the video, the arrangement is very different if you're not in the UK or Ireland. The magic ticket is unique and only available here and in Ireland. Okay, let's talk about Universal, and more specifically, let's talk about Epic Universe. So we don't do Universal. We're not Universal people. I went a few times BD before David, and I wasn't struck on it. You know, it was something good to do every kind of few trips, but I've never been in love with it in the same way that I love Disney. David is a huge Harry Potter fan. So on his first trip, I thought, yes, he's going to love this. He's going to love Universal, Islands Adventure. He's going to love the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, particularly. So I booked us tickets and he hated it. He hated everything about it. We had a really, really bad experience, to be fair. So he didn't get to see the better side of it. I'm not going to say the good side of it because I don't think it is that good. But we had a really miserable day, to the point that we didn't go back for our second day we paid for. It was rubbish. It was really bad. So ever since then, it's always been, no, I don't want to go Universal is what he says to me. But this year, he's going. We're going to Epic Universe. He's a bit pissed that I booked tickets actually. But he's going to have to suck it up because I want to see it. I am really looking forward to seeing Dark Universe, the monsters. I think that's going to be really cool. So yeah, we're doing Epic Universe, much David's discussed. Now, in general, the most cost-effective way to Universal is to buy one of the kind of 14-day tickets from the Universal website, or to buy one of those combo tickets where you kind of get a big ticket that you can go everywhere. So that's going to be your best ways to buy a ticket. Because we only want to do Epic Universe, we are just buying a one-day ticket, and it works out to be a lot more expensive. You can't actually buy a one-day Epic Universe ticket here in the UK. So you have to buy it on the American website, which involves using a VPN, a virtual private network, and then once you're on there you have to pay for it in dollars, which at the moment with the exchange rate from the pound to the dollar, it actually works out to be a little bit cheaper. So thank you Mr. Trump, because at the moment the pound is very strong compared to the dollar, so we actually made quite a good saving buying it in America. Okay, so here is NordVPN. So you basically click on the United States, and then the computer thinks that you are using that computer in America and that you're not in the UK, which then gives you access to the American version of the Universal site. Okay, so this is the Universal website. We've selected we want Epic Universe. I'm going to change that to 1 day, not 3 days. And it's going to show us the 1 day ticket for Epic. And then from there, we are going to choose 2 people for David and I, although he is going to hate me for this. As we scroll down, you can see the different prices for the different days of the year. And we are going to be booking for the 9th of December, which is a Tuesday. As you can see, on the 9th, it's $164 each, plus tax. So we're going to go for the 9th, and the total is $328 plus tax. And as I said, we can't book these tickets in the UK with anybody else, so I only looked at the Universal site for this. So we paid $329.32. Quite an expensive day, and this is before we've bought the Express Pass. On the topic of the Express Pass, I am very conscious that David isn't especially patient waiting in lines for rides. He would pretty much rather miss any ride than queue up for more than half an hour for it. So with this in mind, and I'm very similar, I'm not just picking on David, I'm very, very similar. But with this in mind, the Express Passes seem to be quite essential for us. Bearing in mind we've only got 1 day in there, and I want to try and do as many of the rides as we can. Again, to book the Express Passes, I had to use the VPN, and they were not cheap. I'm sure you've guessed that already, but let me tell you how much they were. For Express Passes, we spent $149.01 each, which is about £110. Yeah, it's a lot. Let's hope it's worth it. We are going to vlog it, and of course, you know us, we're going to be completely honest with you. So if it's not worth it, we will tell you. But we have spent quite a lot on this. Interestingly, you can actually buy those Express Passes in the UK, even though you can't buy the 1 day ticket. So I did price it up here. To buy the Express Pass for the same day in the UK, it would have cost us £160 each. We got them for around 110, so I'm taking that as a win. By using the VPN and buying them in dollars on the Universal site has saved us about 100 quid. That's probably our meals for that day. So yeah, you've really got to price things up and see which is the best buy. And on this occasion, with the exchange rate as it is, it's best to use that VPN, go onto the American site and buy it in dollars. Okay, last but not least, what we're going to talk about today, we are going to talk about Christmas parties. And I've only very recently booked these, so this is still quite fresh. I think I've told David we'd booked these. I'm not entirely sure if he knows yet. As you can probably tell, I do all the planning. He just turns up, looks good, and gives his opinion on stuff. So we are going to Disney in the end of November, but mostly for the kind of first part of December. I've never been this time of year for the holidays. David's never been. So I kind of want to do all the holiday stuff while we're there. Now, I don't anticipate this will be a kind of usual time of year for us to go to Disney. I thought, well, while we're going this time of year, we need to kind of do everything. Albeit I'm a little bit salty that they're not doing the gingerbread house at the Grand Floridian this year. Because I really want to see that and it's not going to be there, so that's a bit annoying. But we're going to try and do everything else. So we're going to do Candlelight Processional, we're going to do the Christmas Party, Jollywood Nights. And I really struggle with Jollywood Nights because I don't actually see the value in the money you pay for what you get. But I know that when I'm there, if I haven't done it, I'll be disappointed. So we're going to do it again. Another very honest vlog for you as to whether that will be, in our opinion, worth the money we've paid. It was slightly less than Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And also because we bought our tickets in dollars with that good exchange rate, it didn't cost us as much as it might have. Now, as DVC members, we do get $10 off of the party tickets on certain nights. The night we're doing Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is not a night we get a discount. I think that's a bit cheeky, you know, just to kind of give DVC members $10 off isn't very much, but then to only do it on certain nights I think is a bit kind of mean of Disney, but it is what it is. So we didn't get any discount off of the Christmas party on the night we're going, but on Jollywood Nights we did get $10 off each. Woohoo! $10 each, amazing. We can buy a snack. Now, there wasn't very much in the prices. Even though attraction ticks are giving you 15% off, there wasn't very much difference in the price of buying it in dollars or paying it in pounds and getting 15% off. It was very, very tight, but we did save a tiny bit of money, which you'll be pleased to know. I'm very happy about. Old tight ass here. So on Florida Ticks, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party would have cost us £333.20 for both of us. That was with the 15% discount. And it would have cost us £317.90 on the same site for Jollywood Nights, again using that 15% discount. On the Disney site, using the VPN, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party was $445.18 and Jollywood Nights was $402.58. So we saved about £4 on the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party tickets, and we saved about £19 on the Jollywood Night tickets. So, you know, we've saved about 25 quid buying them from Disney rather than buying them here with the 15% discount. So those discounts, although they look good, they don't always save you some money. So make sure you do the maths. And I've said this to you before, but do the maths, compare and contrast. 25 quid, that's going to buy us a nice, I'd say a nice drink each, but I doubt it will. It'll probably buy us a drink between us. So there we are, we've got our tickets purchased, our 14-day magic ticket for Walt Disney World. We've got our Epic Universe and Express Pass. We've got our party tickets for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and Jollywood Nights all booked. We will probably book a couple of tours as well, and we'll show you that when we get there, 60 days out, so I'll show you that as well. But yeah, that's our theme park tickets all booked. Okay, before we go, tell me your own experiences in the comments down below. Tell me, where do you get your tickets from? How do you do it? Have you got any better ways, any kind of tips for saving money? If you have, tell me in the comments down below. I love to learn from you as well. So I've given you my experience and my tips. Let's hear from you now. I'd love to. Anyway, until next time, thank you so much for watching. I hope I've given you a little glimpse into my crazy mind when I'm planning a Disney trip, and particularly about how I book my park tickets to try and save a bit of money. With the wedding coming up, it's really important to save money and do this trip a little bit kind of more frugally than we are used to. So yeah, hope that's helped. Thank you again for watching. If you have liked this video, have you liked it? If you've liked this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Share it with your friends as well, because they might learn something from this. It might help them save a bit of money. If you like our channel, please ensure you're subscribed with the little notification bell clicked, because that will tell you when the next one of these comes out. This is video 3, 4 is coming soon, and there'll be more and more as we get closer to the trip. I think that's everything I've got to tell you. Anyway, thank you for watching, and as always, never grow up. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.